Let's fight! A very good evening to each and every one of you from around the world, wherever you guys are joining us from. Welcome, welcome in the ring. Contact for another hour with better folks to spend the time with. Whether you're joining us on Twitter, you guys are joining us on Facebook, you guys are joining us on YouTube, and some of you are on LinkedIn even. Wherever you are picking up our broadcast in the ring from. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Great to see each and every one of you folks. This evening we're on Ukraine time and we are here live and in living color. Welcome. Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. Yes, the bell. Good to see you. Wherever you're joining us from, great to see each and every one of you. You know, as we come into the Coliseum, the ring, as we come into the arena, the stadium, guys, we require of you to share the live stream. Wherever you're joining us from, you're going to need to buckle up this evening. You're going to need to put on your seatbelts, put on your headgear, put in your mouth guard. It's going to be a bumpy ride, folks. Good to see each and every one of you. We are fired up at our end. Cheryl Shiroda and ready to go. Dwayne Collins, we see you. Jamal Jordan, Wilton Blue, and Paulette Hicks. We see you guys. Dennis London Welchman and Lizzie Simon. Good to see each and every one of you in the ring, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Bernadette James and Joylyn Cook. Veronica Rollins Primo, good to see you there. German Benjamin as well. Good to have you guys in the ring with us, folks. It's such a privilege to have all of you here with us. The hundreds of you joining our live stream already. The folks on Twitter give us a retweet. The folks on LinkedIn give us a follow. The folks on YouTube give us a subscribe. Follow us also across our Facebook pages. And folks, share. The live stream is such a privilege, guys. What a treat you're in for this evening. You showed up at the right time, showed up at the right place. V. Mac, is it Harris? Good to see you there as well. Good to see all you lovely people joining us this evening. Laverne Haricharan, is it Yulandia? Yulandia Thomas. Marilyn is here too. Michelle McKay. Shanetta David Edwards. Good to see each and every one of you folks like Richard Fordyce. Whichever part of the world, wherever in the world you guys are joining us from, welcome, welcome, welcome in the ring, one and all. Elizabeth Gaskin, Roslyn Niblet, good to see you. Shelley DeRidder, Paul Bourne and Basil Clark, Lily McGarrell, good to see you as well. Carlton Beverly and Kim Walker, good to see Koana Mingo. All the usual suspects. Some of y'all can say we're not suspects. All the usual folks who are here ringside with us in the Coliseum, in the stadium, in the arena. Good to see you guys. Isabella Butters. Let's fight. And Beverly, good to see you as well. Pauline Hawk Kippins is here. Dorrit David is here. Pace and power, guys, in 2022. Pace and power. Cicely Weeks, good to see you. Pollyanna Schultz, Paul DeAngelo. How you doing, Paul? Haven't seen you for a little bit. Don Johnson as well. Sharon Grant, Denise Mars, Alvin Fraser. Alvin, how are you doing? Haven't seen you in a little while as well. Good to see you this evening ringside. Neil Diamond Star. Things tight, Neil Diamond Star says, indeed. But we got to forge a way forward. Guys, you know as we say, as you come into the live stream, share. Welcome in the ring, those of you who are new to our program. We tend to get a little bit rowdy here, so you got to brace yourself for that. Put in your dentures, fix it in strong, tighten up the weave, Brazilian or otherwise. Guys, we're going to be in for a bumpy ride this evening. Lots of information to share with you. And as we bring the information, guys, we ask you that you share. The live stream is a privilege to be with you. Let us know you're receiving our audio well. Let us know you're seeing us clearly. Those things are important to us. Good to see each and every one of you. Adele Sample is here with us. Good to see you. Also, I see Angel Adele Wade is here as well. Edward Wade and Lovern Wade. I see also Atala Wade Duncan is here as well. I see Carlotta Reynolds and Penelope Hudson. All of you fantastic folks like Gwyneth Jones, guys. Welcome, welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. I don't know about you, but I am fired up, guys, ready to go, ready to get into that fight card, and so pleased that all of you guys are here with us, fired up as well, and ready to go. Bob Annie, I see you. Karen Gordon, I see you. Donald Levan and Diane Fordyce. Romy Leander, loud and clear, Romy says. Joylyn Cook, Bob Annie, Claudine LaRose, Dukwa. Good to see you, Claudine. Good to see you, Lynette Joseph. All you fantastic folks. Welcome in the ring from around the world, guys. All of you fantastic folks joining us tonight. Couldn't ask for a better audience. Folks, we begin tonight. It seems to have been a very, very bloody post matrimony. Bloody post matrimony. And folks, we begin this evening from around the world. There is where we begin our broadcast from around the world, folks. And as you would have known, in the last 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen, there have been the invasion of Ukraine by Russian forces, by the Russian authorities. And that is some of the international information that we've been hunting down and chasing on your behalf. This information is coming out of all the international news agencies. Again, great to see each and every one of you with us this evening. And this is what we know at this hour, that within the last 48 hours, President Biden of the United States, Joseph Biden of the United States of America, sent troops to the Baltics. And there were harsh sanctions that were issued over Russia, or rather on Russia, over the Ukraine invasion. But overnight, folks, we learned that Russia had launched a military offensive on the Ukraine, beset the Ukraine, folks, besieged the Ukraine, and launched several attacks on the Ukraine from several different angles. And the world is witnessing all of this in real time. Folks, you're going to want to share the live stream tonight. You're going to want to tag a friend. You're going to want to tag your family. And you're going to want to smash that emoji button. And so this is some of the information that we know. We are seeing a war occurring in real time, like no other war before it. Hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second. That is what has been transpiring. And folks, on that front, here is some additional information we're following. Just this morning, Joseph Biden would have issued a statement as regards this attack by Russia on Ukraine. And this is part of what he said. He said he spoke with President Zelensky, who reached out to him during the course of the evening. He said he condemns this unprovoked, unjustified attack by Russian military forces. And this is the phraseology that we're seeing used by many nations around the world. Unjustified attack, unprovoked attack. He said he was briefed, or rather he briefed his Ukraine counterpart on the steps they were taking to rally international support, and also including international condemnation, as they even went before the United Nations Security Council last evening. But folks, it was as that meeting was occurring last evening of the United Nations Security Council that Russian forces, launched the offensive into Ukraine. In addition to that, we saw some other condemnations as well. For instance, former Secretary of State of the United States of America, Hillary Clinton, referring to something that Madeleine Albright, another former Secretary of State of the U.S., said concerning this invasion of Ukraine. And here is Madeleine Albright, Hillary Clinton, referring to her words. Instead of paving Russia's path to greatness, invading Ukraine ensures Mr. Putin's infamy by leaving his country diplomatically isolated, economically crippled, and strategically vulnerable. Yep, those were the words of Hillary Rodham Clinton, referring also to the words of her counterpart, former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright. In addition to that, you had other events happening. Several world leaders around the world, including Joseph R. Biden, condemned the intrusion on Ukraine's territorial sovereignty. And so the US president condemned those attacks. You had also the European Union with a strong statement talking about the unjustified military actions that were grossly violating international law. Then we had the British Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, who said on Twitter that he was appalled by the horrific events unfolding in Ukraine. Yep, and he slammed Putin as well for choosing a path of bloodshed and destruction. Then we had the German Chancellor as well, weighing in condemnation, stating that this was a blatant breach of international law and demanded that Russia must stop its military actions right now, he said. We had also Emmanuel Macron, the French president, who weighed in as well, saying that Russia should immediately end its military operations in Ukraine, as he strongly condemned the Russian decision to wage war. Even the Japanese prime minister wasn't having it today with Russia, and weighed in himself, saying that this Russian attack shakes the foundations of the international order, and Japan will work closely with the US and its other allies in dealing with the crisis. It's only China stopped short of condemning frontally the actions that were taking place there in Ukraine by Russia. The Chinese president, rather the Chinese foreign minister, he called on the parties involved to be cool-headed, to stay cool-headed, but rational, cool-headed but rational. Yeah, but again, stop short of condemning Russia's actions. And this was the view of some of the leaders from around the world, folks, again, condemning the action of Russia invading Ukraine. But closer to home, folks, CARICOM issued its own statement as well today. And we saw CARICOM saying that it strongly condemned the military actions and invasion of Ukraine by the Russian Federation, and calls for the immediate and complete withdrawal of military presence and cessation of any further actions that, of course, may intensify the current perilous situation in that country. Again, calling for an immediate and complete withdrawal of Russian forces. This is CARICOM. This is CARICOM, of which, folks, we are a member state. We saw other condemnations as well, guys, from around the region. Yes, we did see that. I hope that Glensis Mingo Byrne saw them as well, and Alex Powell and Siobhan Semple, Jamal Jordan and Bob Annie and Shawnette Barnes and all these wonderful folks watching us. We hope that you guys share the live stream as well. Folks, we're now getting warmed up. Strap yourselves in and share the live stream as well, folks. So here is CARICOM asking for the immediate and complete withdrawal of forces from Russia. What else happened in the Caribbean on this front? We had folks close at home still. We had Mia Mottley coming out with a statement. Guys, Mia Mottley, the Prime Minister of Barbados. Yes, Gwyneth Jones. Mia spoke on the issue as well. Marsha Baptiste, Mia Mottley spoke, and Ramaya and all the other guys, Leslie Niles and Auntie Leslie Thorne, Diane Graves-Zandi and Tonya Cummins. Mia spoke up not to be left out of international affairs and issues that are once in a lifetime happening on the international stage. Mia called immediately for a cease to its hostilities, implored Russia and instructed Russia to immediately cease its hostilities and respect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine. So we got CARICOM, we got Mia Mottley speaking out. Again, who's sharing their live stream for us this evening, guys? So that folks from around the world can get the valid and credible information. Mia Mottley today, on behalf of the Barbadian people, called for an immediate cease to its hostilities, called on Russia to immediately cease its hostilities and respect the sovereignty and the territorial integrity, folks, of the Ukraine. And that was some of what the day was about. Strong condemnation from world leaders. We saw some additional condemnation as well. Closer to home, we saw the PNCR issuing a statement as well, condemning what was happening, what is happening in Ukraine at the moment by the Russian forces. Here is Mr. Aubrey Norton, PNCR, the People's National Congress Reform, issuing a strong statement, part of which read that there should be a return to the status quo ante, which will have a positive effect on the international system and global economy. Guys, you know, just this morning, as war was declared on Ukraine by Russia, the price of oil went past $100 per barrel. You know, that has implications for us all around the world who use oil. And, you know, the folks who are been the advocates of green energy and clean energy are saying, you see what we say? We cannot be at the mercies of war and all of that, the volatile nature of these issues. And so again, folks, Mr. Aubrey C. Norton, the leader of the People's National Congress Reform, coming out with a very strong statement asking for a return to the status quo ante, which he says will have a positive impact, the party believes, on the international system and the global economy, folks. But in addition to that, those of you who are joining us from around the world, the government of Guyana also had its say on this crisis there between Russia and Ukraine. The government of Guyana also spoke on this issue, guys, just today, issuing a statement and a short statement saying that there was a longer statement coming later on during the course of the day. We're still looking forward to that. But here is what this initial statement said: pace and power, guys, in 2022. Share the live stream so that all the folks can get the valid and credible information. Smash that emoji button as well. The government of Guyana says in its statement, the government condemns the violation of Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity by Russia. We call for an immediate cessation of military action. The government is now in consultation with our international partners and will issue a full statement before the end of the day. Again, the clarion call there for those of you who are watching us, those of you who are sharing the live stream, those of you who are smashing the emoji button, is for an immediate cessation of military action, folks. That was happening. And you know, some Guyanese, how we are. We take nothing serious. We take nothing serious, which brings us to a point that Guyana is not a real place. And you know, this has been one of the things we say consistently on our program. Guyana is not a real place. So here's the government of Guyana asking for a cessation of violence, adding its voice to the international community. And then we have some people on Facebook making fun of the way things are. And you can take this however you want it. Here is one person on social media responding to what the government of Guyana said in that press statement, saying, or what? Or what? I mean, an immediate cessation of violence, or what? Russia drops two whistling thunder in the sea and flood we out? Little Cherry must learn to stay out a big people story. This is what one Omarion Haynes had to say on social media. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Here is Omarion Haynes saying, Guyana, cessation or what else? Russia drops two whistling thunders in we see and flood we out. Little Cherry must learn to stay out of big people's story. And folks, those are some of the issues that were attention grabbing during the course of the day and during the course of this invasion of Russia that we saw from early on in the day. We trust that you guys have been keeping yourself up to date, folks, with all of this information that we're putting out there, and that's also available from a number of other international news agencies, news media outlet. Guys, you have no excuse why we aren't informed what's happening in Russia, and we are looking forward to that extended statement from the government of Guyana as well. We have to add our voice to what's happening in the international community, folks. It's a global village out there. All involved, as our late, great national poet Martin Carter would say. All are involved and all are consumed. And folks, that is just some of what's happening on the international front, guys. And I would implore you, I would advise you to, in addition to all that you've been doing, let's pray, those of you who are people of faith, who are religious folks, for the people there in the Ukraine, even those persons in Russia as well, that might be affected at some point by this conflict. And it seems to have no end in sight. Lots of stuff, folks, happening on the international stage. And as a people, as a humanity, we can lift each other before the Almighty and ask that His will prevail in all of this, and that lives are preserved and not lost needlessly. So we hope that you guys continue to remember the people of the Ukraine in particular and of Russia also, because on both sides you can have innocent lives lost. You can have casualties on both sides as well. And folks, we would lend our voice also to say, let us return to the push for a diplomatic solution. War cannot be the answer to any conflict we have in this new age and of this generation as well. So that's some of the stuff happening on the international stage, guys. Signs of the times. Signs of the times. Coming closer to home now. Signs of the times. Not only referring to Omari Haynes' post there, that we should sell to big people business. signs of the times. I did say when we started the program this evening that it has been such a bloody post-Mashimani, beginning internationally with the war on Ukraine by the Russian authorities, Vladimir Putin himself, folks, having all kinds of expansionist thoughts in terms of returning to the old Soviet Union and all those entities and countries that made up all the real estate there in Europe that made up the former Soviet Union. Lots of bloodshed there. And also, folks, the post-Mashimani. We got to pray for ourselves too. This is some of what happened over the last 48 hours, guys. Yep, this is at the Kendron. There was an accident at the Kendron. And the fellow who was driving this motor vehicle said that he was trying to swerve from a horse at the Kendron. Oh, you all lock up your horses, man. Lock up your animals, man. Lock up your pigs, your dogs, and so forth. Look, this gentleman's vehicle is almost written off. He said this happened at the Kendron. He was swerving from a horse, and he flew into somebody's fence, and this was the result. But thankfully, folks, thankfully, he walked away with his life. Everyone wasn't so lucky over the last 48 hours, folks. Regretfully, everyone was not so lucky with their lives over the weekend, because it brings us to this other story that we have been following, guys, where an unlicensed driver died in a tree vehicle smash up at Schoonard. Who's sharing the live stream? Other folks got to use the road with care. You know, the great poet John Donne says, never seek to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. Folks, we have to use our roadways with care. And we believe that this guy was very, very young, who also was involved in this tree vehicle smash up there at Schoonard just this morning. Guys. We got to be careful on the roadways. And if you folks think that was something, look at this accident that happened just this afternoon that took the life of an 18-year-old. My father. Look at this one, guys. We got to be careful on the road. This was on the East Bank of Diamond, where one Prakash Bolo Salvador, 18 years old, crashed into a barricade on the fence of Diamond. A diamond. On a barricade of Diamond. On the East Bank. Salvador, Prakash. His call name is Bolo Salvador. 18 years old. He said he took the turn there by DDL, lost control of the vehicle, and slammed into a concrete fence. This is not a movie. This is real life. And we say on this program, we are to be careful on the road, exercise caution. The pedestrian, right, is at the apex in using the road. We should give way to pedestrians. We should give way to cyclists. And then you got your motorists. Right? And the bigger the vehicle, right, the further down on the pyramid you are. The pedestrian is number one. We got to use the road with care. And that turn there at Diamond on the East Bank of Demerara is a very dangerous turn, and you have to take your time. And it's raining. The forecast has rain for the next 24 to 48 hours. We got to slow down. Some of you listening to me this evening, you are going to be going out this evening. You'll be going out tomorrow. Folks, let's arrive alive. Let us arrive alive. You understand me? When you all see somebody going $2 for $1, no, it's Duncan going there. $2 for $1. Kitty Cutter. We got to slow down and arrive alive. Who's sharing the live stream for us tonight? Who's smashing that emoji button so that folks can get valid and credible information? This is what transpired just there. Just today, folks. Just today. And I believe the guys have some footage for us as well with this accident, folks. Take a look. And they're going to have the for us in just a second.
Yo, if you game with me, I don't want to take you.
And that's what's happening at that end, guys. We got to be careful on the road. We have got to be careful on the roadways, guys, and use the road with care. That is what we have to do. That is what is required of us to do, folks. And don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You're going out, you're going to be inebriated, you're going to be consuming alcohol. Folks, you have to, you have to take your health, you have to take your safety into your own hands. Take your health, take your safety into your own hands, folks. Enough said. Moving on, our thoughts and prayers go out to that family and the family before that who lost their loved one in that three-car smash-up as well. Our thoughts and prayers go out to each and every one of them. Moving on, folks. Moving on. We have to arrive alive. And this is what we've been saying to all. Slow down. Slow down. Use the road with caution. Think about the other road users that are going to be with you guys. Think about them as well. It's not only about us. Think about the other folks who are using the roadways with us, folks. You know, check in on folks who are going to be out and ensure. Continue to encourage them, you know, to be careful, to use the road with care. We cannot use the road in this very, very haphazard. In this very, very haphazard manner. We cannot at all. We cannot at all. And guys, that is it on that front. But here's some other stuff that would have transpired during the course of the day. Rather over the last 24 hours, a 13-year-old Ray Stewart lost its life at the Jubilee Resort. Folks, this is a tremendously sad story. Young 13-year-old Ray Stewart lost his life. He was collected by his father from his mother's house. The two are separated and told that the father was going to spend some time with him. Guys, it is tremendously sad that it was on the father's birthday, part of those birthday celebrations, that the father went off with the young lad, Ray Stewart, to the Jubilee Resort with other family members. And somehow or the other, Ray Stewart lost his life. Listen to Ray Stewart's grandmother sitting beside his mother recount the events leading up to Ray's death, having been received by his father on his father's birthday to go and enjoy the father's birthday celebration. Listen to his grandmother.
This is my daughter. Her name is Donnet Stewart. She's a retired member of the Guyana Defense Force, and she's now working at the veteran home. She was married to Ray Stewart Sr., who is the father of Ray Stewart, the deceased. They are now divorced, and in the divorce order, I have it here, it's stated here, that she has full custody of the child, and he has visitation rights. His rights are that he gets this child every other weekend, half of the school holidays, and any public holiday at her discretion. On the 23rd, which was MASH Day, it qualified him for a holiday visitation. He had wanted the child the day before, but the child normally takes online classes. So the mother told him you cannot get him before 7 o'clock. He came around 7:30, but 6:30, and he collected the child. Waited until the online classes finished, and then he collected the child and they left. My daughter was at work. She saw him when she was coming back from work. He was going out, and she said, Junior, she slowed down the car and she said, Junior, be careful and safe journey. And because he and the father, they were walking out and they left. Yesterday now, it was the 23rd, she was at work again and she received a call telling her to get down at Diamond right away. Something happened to Junior and it seems as though he mightn't make it. The veteran home is still in South, so she called home here, and my brother and one of my other daughters, they went down to Diamond just to view his body lying there, pronounced dead on arrival. I'm the type of person that I do not believe in untimely death. So, we decided, well, perhaps that was Ray's time. But what we're worried and very much perturbed about is that the father never, ever called my daughter to say that, well, what transpired. Anything we hear is if we hear it from, Facebook or so, right? And this is how we pick up one or two things.
I think my mother missed out that he never mentioned to me when he took my child that he was carrying him to the creek. My child told me, he said, Mommy, Daddy said, let me walk with a short trunks. I said, for what? He said, Daddy said, we're going to the creek. I immediately text him. The text is here. I immediately text him and I asked him not to take him to the creek because he cannot swim and I don't want him to go in any water because he cannot swim. He replied to me and he said that he would be okay. Jubilee have a pool for children and he's responsible enough. He can take care of his child. So I want to know if this is the responsibility the father have. My child is dead. And I'm blaming Jubilee as much as the father for this.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and friends, the schoolmates of young Ray Stewart, who lost his life as the parents articulated there over the last 24 hours at the Jubilee Resort. Ray's sister on his father's side had some additional information also on how young Ray Stewart met his demise at the Jubilee Park. Listen to Ray's sister, Alana Stewart.
Yesterday was my daddy's birthday, and we all went to the Jubilee because last 2 years we were there for his birthday too. So he said we will take a trip there again. So the previous years my brother didn't went due to certain stuff, but this year he got to come to celebrate together, right? So we all went into the pool, and we all were swimming, but we know he couldn't have swim, so he was into the little children pool all the time, right? So he leave and said he's going up to get something to drink, but I didn't check up to see if he come in. Nobody didn't see him come in or nothing. Then my daddy came and he said, "Where is Junior?" So I know to myself, he said he's going up to get something to drink, but I didn't see him come down. So then my daddy started calling for him to see if he's under the bed or anything. He didn't respond. My daddy leave and went to the washroom to see if he's there. Nothing. Mine and everybody's in the pool, but nobody didn't saw Junior come into the big pool. When my uncle checked, he saw somebody at the bottom of the water, and when they checked, it was my brother.
Yep. Again, that is Ray's short sister, Alana Stewart, recounting the events at the Jubilee Park there over the last 24 hours, where young 13-year-old Ray Stewart lost his life by drowning. As you heard there, his father would have gone to that facility to celebrate the father's birthday. And at some point, Ray went missing, and nobody seemed to know where he was until his lifeless body, as you heard the sister articulate in such grief and sorrow, they found his body there at the bottom of the pool. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the entire family, there, folks. We encourage you guys to share the live stream. We encourage you guys to smash the emoji, but we want as many persons as possible to get the valid and credible information we provide in the ring, guys. Moving on. The real bells of Bartica. The real bells, not the fake ones, the real bells of Bartica, folks. The real bells. Wow. Folks, you want to tax somebody, you're going to want to tax somebody. These folks are PPP supporters. They support wholeheartedly the People's Progressive Party. These are their stalwarts in Bartica. And information has it that they can do no wrong. They can do no wrong, folks. Well, we have been following their activities over time and their actions. And again, it would seem that these guys are the untouchables. These folks are the untouchables of Bartica. And let us recount some of what we have gone through over time here in our program. But the real bells. Who's sharing the live stream? Who's smashing that emoji button there, folks? So folks can get the valid and credible information. The real bells. There was one incident where Mr. Stephen Bell, in some leaked audio tapes, was accused of a lot of corrupt activities there in Bartica. A lot of corrupt activities, corrupt contracts, the way the business is managing. These were all allegations. Cheating NIS, a whole host of allegations were made by another of the Bell's compatriots there in Bartica Region 7. There was another issue with Tristan Bell, in which he was involved in a dangerous driving in a dangerous manner, and was actually charged for that offense, where a lad, was hit down by young Tristan Bell, and nothing ever became of that matter. Again, they seemed to be untouchable. And then there was another incident involving Conan Bell. These were allegations of threatening, or rather allegations of threatening conduct against a woman. All these were documented for public consumption. All of this, ladies and gentlemen, were documented for public consumption. All of it. But what we saw recently at the Stelling left us to believe that perhaps these folks are perhaps really and truly untouchable. It was a fight that started with a scuffle from the Stelling of Bartica. Right to the police station moved up to. Take a listen. Take a look, ladies and gentlemen.
Voy para aquí. Telling you,
What are you fucking back? One by one. Fucking idea back. What are you back? One by one. One by fucking one. One by one. One by one. Catch them one by one. Yo, I stuck. Yo. One by one, I'll catch you.
what's going on here, boy? This is the man's family man fighting.
One by one, boy. One by one, boy. Like fucking everybody now, boy.
Down, guys. That's how it went down at that end. Yep. The real bells of Bartico. Can you imagine fighting in a police station? Certainly you can do jail time. If you and your family, the wife, the sister-in-law, the children, the husband brother, if all of us fighting in the police station, certainly somebody can do jail time. Certainly somebody can pass before the courts. But we got some preachers preaching one Guyana, but the parishioners in following is two Guyanas. Because certainly, if I go and fight in a police station, I can do some jail. I will be charged. Certainly, if I bite a policeman, who's sharing the live stream tonight? Certainly, if I bite certainly, folks, if I bite a policeman, I can do some jail time. If I go in a police station and I'm fighting policemen, not listening to the instructions to break up and to what have you. Certainly, there seems to be two Guyanas. There seems to be two set of laws. One set to the people who are closely affiliated with the PPP, and another law for James Bond, another law for Sherrod Duncan, another law for the rest of us. Certainly, folks, people who conduct themselves like that in a police station will be charged, will be passed before the courts. Certainly. Certainly, we can't just say sorry and go back to the status quo. Certainly not. And we are being made to understand that both brothers, one is the president of the Bartica Boat Association, the other one is the secretary of the organization. And this was a scuffle and fight and a brawl that started over whose turn it was in the boat line. And clearly, the two families got some friction, got some history, got some story there. Brothers don't operate like this. But look their conduct before the law. What are you teaching your children? What are we teaching the kids of Bartica, the people of Bartica? That we come back. Them boys come back. Large and in charge. Who's sharing the live stream for us? Who is sharing? So that stakeholders, the international community, could see what we have brought back. Could see what some of them have brought back. This is where we are, folks. This is where we are. You think any one of them going to see some jail time? You think any one of them will be charged? Keep waiting. Keep waiting. Some folks could bite a policeman. They would never see a police step. Some folks can fight in a police station and they would never be charged. But we're going to keep our eyes on this issue. We're being made to understand a lot of skullduggery happening in Bartica. A lot of skullduggery. Some folks who should got conflict of interest and getting contracts. Wife getting contract. Children getting contract. And family members are involved in issuing government contracts. A lot of allegations are in Bartica, are being made in Bartica. And so we're looking to this one. Bartician police, you got to rise to the occasion. All aren't equal before the law. Don't we subscribe to the rule of law? All are equal before the law in the dispensing of justice. You could tell me you could have folks who go fight in a police station and nothing happens. You just walk out with a warning. What kind of cowboy country is this? What kind of wild, wild west country are we subscribing to? But we are going to be continuing to follow these events, folks, and we're going to pursue the truth wherever it leads. So we got to add them now to that lineup we have. Have they been charged yet? You bite a policeman, you knock down and kill somebody. Huh? You conduct yourself in a more despicable manner. You fight in a police station. You thief government money, a whole host of things. And nothing is ever done. There is never any retribution. The law never applies. But to some other folks on the other side of Bartica, on the other side of town, you have a different set of law that applies to them. We're going to continue to follow this story, folks, and bring you the valid and credible information. Another news, Nima Flubes, Member of Parliament, the Honorable, and Catherine Hughes, also Member of Parliament, have tabled a motion, have submitted a motion to the Clerk of the National Assembly as concerns the conduct of Nigel Darmla and all of those stink and dirty words that he used in the National Assembly against our fellow parliamentarians, especially the women of the National Assembly. And it took two women of the National Assembly here to submit this motion. Again, complaining and saying to the Speaker and the Clerk of the National Assembly that Nigel Darmla must be sanctioned by the National Assembly for his dastardly, crass behavior. And that's what's happening on that front. And we're going to keep you posted on the passage of those two motions through the through the National Assembly by members of Parliament Nima Flubes and Catherine Hughes. In other news on that front too, my Lord, Passa, Palance. Folks, some of you are so happy to get outside. Some of you were so happy to get outside last evening. You forgot not only the curfew was lifted. Well, you all remember that. But you forgot that the COVID protocols were still in place. The regulation were still in place. The rules were still in place. And you all carry on. You all carry on, folks. But listen, we got to bear the consequences of our action. We say slow down on the road. You guys got to take responsibility for your action too. Here is what we saw happening at the National Stadium last evening was Palance. People balancing with COVID, we got to be careful. Take a look at this. Yep. Some folks were palancing late into the night. Palance. I like palancing just like the other guy. Just like you folks. We like to palance too. But we gotta be responsible, guys. We gotta be responsible with COVID-19. And don't be alarmed, don't be surprised if we see the COVID numbers start to tick back. Don't be surprised. We got to be responsible. COVID task force, we got to be responsible. Why if I got 10 people by my house, people want to come and say, oh, you're breaching laws, you're breaching rules and regulations, like the next James Bond. I don't think James Bond had all these people by his establishment. But again, you see this law and how it's being applied in these two Guyanas. Even though they got some folks trying to convince us that it's one Guyana, but you can take that and shove it. Because we're seeing the reality is two Guyanas every day. Who's sharing the live stream so that people can get the valid and credible information, folks? Where are the activists? Where's the militancy in sharing the live stream and smashing that emoji button so that folks get the valid and credible information? We got to be responsible. We want to be outside. We love to be outside. We out here, people. We out here. But we got to do so, guys, in a very, very responsible manner. FYI, for those who have joined us late, just to bring you up to date very, very quickly with what has been happening in the world, internationally, Russia invaded Ukraine today. And this is what the Ukraine ambassador said at the Security Council meeting we referred to early on in our program. This is what the Ukraine ambassador wasn't having it. Take a listen, folks.
So when I was coming here an hour ago or so, I was intending to ask the Russian ambassador to confirm on the record that the Russian troops will not start firing at Ukrainians today and go ahead with the offensive. It became useless 48 minutes ago. Because about 48 minutes ago, your president declared the war on Ukraine. So now I would like to ask the ambassador of the Russian Federation to say on the record that at this very moment, your troops do not shell and bomb Ukrainian cities, that your troops do not move in the territory of Ukraine. You have a smartphone, you can call Lavrov right now. We can make a pause to let you go out and call him. If you are not in a position to give an affirmative answer, the Russian Federation ought to relinquish responsibilities of the President of the Security Council, pass these responsibilities on to a legitimate member of the Security Council, a member that is respectful of the Charter, and I ask the members of the Security Council to convene an emergency meeting immediately and consider all necessary draft decisions to stop the war. Because it's too late, my dear colleagues, to speak about de-escalation. Too late. The Russian president declared the war on the record. Should I play the video of your president? Ambassador, shall I do that right now, or you can't confirm it? Do not interrupt me, please. Thank you.
Then don't ask me questions when you are speaking. Proceed with your statement.
Anyway, you declare the war. It is the responsibility of this body to stop the war. So I call on every one of you to do everything possible to stop the war. Or should I play the video with your president declaring the war? Thank you very much.
I think if that had gone on for 2 seconds longer, there was going to be a fight in the Security Council. I believe that the Ukraine foreign minister got a little bell blood in him, and the Russian foreign minister too. The Ukraine, you heard that? The Ukraine foreign minister said, "Don't interrupt me when I'm speaking," and those guys were ready at very, very tense room. But later today, the Russian people, lots of them, they ain't having this invasion. They are not having this invasion. And thousands of persons were protesting in Moscow. Take a look at this, folks. Take a look at this. Yep. That is Moscow loud. Moscow out loud, folks, protesting against the invasion of Ukraine. But the US President, Joe Biden, he ain't having it either. He ain't having it either, folks. Who's sharing this live stream? How the folks can get the valid and credible information? This is Joe Biden, late this afternoon, President of the United States of America.
Putin is the aggressor. Putin chose this war, and now he and his country will bear the consequences. This was never about a genuine security concerns on their part. It was always about naked aggression, about Putin's desire for empire by any means necessary, by bullying Russia's neighbors through coercion and corruption, by changing borders by force, and ultimately by choosing a war without a cause. Putin's actions betray his sinister vision for the future of our world, one where nations take what they want by force. But it is a vision that the United States and freedom-loving nations everywhere will oppose with every tool of our considerable power. When the history of this era is written, Putin's choice to make a totally unjustifiable war on Ukraine will have left Russia weaker and the rest of the world stronger. Liberty, democracy, human dignity, these are the forces far more powerful than fear and oppression. They cannot be extinguished by tyrants like Putin and his armies. They cannot be erased by from people's hearts and hopes by any amount of violence and intimidation. They endure. In the contest between democracy and autocracy, between sovereignty and subjugation, make no mistake, freedom will prevail.
As well, Amabel Clement. Apologies for the little snafu there, guys. Good to see you, Marsha. You see them boys walking? Them boys walking, folks. Good to see you, Rhonda Ferguson, Laverne, Harry Chiran, Kelvin. Good to see you as well. Audrey Bob, good to see you. Again, apologies for the little snafu there. Marina, I saw you there. Leonard Joseph, I saw you there as well. Respect and manners, guys. Come on board and partner with us, folks, so that we can do more and more of these programs, folks. You know, we always say it takes something to keep the lights on. It takes something to keep the internet going. It takes something, folks, to have us out here. And so we encourage each and every one of you to come on board and partner with us. You know the routine by heart by now. We're available via Cash App, available via PayPal, via Zelle, via MMG, via MoneyGram, via Western Union. To keep this thing going, folks, we depend wholly and solely on each and every one of you. So come on board and partner with us. The number you want to message, you want to message is 627-6963. You want to WhatsApp that number if you want to know how you can come on board and how you can use one of these platforms to contribute to our program to keep us going strong. Good to see each and every one of you guys. Thanks for joining in the ring this evening. That's our time. That's our program. Delon Scott says like I had blackout. Delon, you know the thing. Donald David, good to see you. Progress Prasad, good to see you as well. Good to see Karen McCoy and Nikki Innes. Good to see Darren and Glensis. Good to see Joylyn and Robin. Good to see Neil Bino. All of you beautiful, fantastic folks. That's our time tonight. Ensure you share the live stream before you go and smash that emoji button as well. We want to see how you guys are doing out there. Roxanne Odessa, good to see you. Spurley. Laverne Peters, good to see you as well. Don Raymond and Jacobs and Faith Laundry, good to see each and every one of you. Stay safe, guys. Use the road with care. Be responsible where COVID-19 is concerned. And remember the people of Ukraine tonight and also the people of Russia as you go to bed, as you do your devotion, as you talk to the Almighty, folks. Remember them. Again, folks, be cautious on the road. Be responsible with COVID-19. And remember the people of Ukraine and also Russia this evening. Thank you for joining us. That's our time. That's our program. Flora Jacobs Ward, Anita Premo. Good to see you, Chisong Henry. Good to see you, Donna Jacobs. Good to see you, Glensis Mingo Byrne and Shawnette Barnes. Henrik Verwin and Delon Scott. Good to see you, Desiree Barrington. Good to see all of you beautiful folks. Take care now and stay safe. That's our time tonight, guys. That is we time. What else you want? We finished. We done. That is our time. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe.